you know, a lot of people are used to driving their cars and they understand the word hydrocarbon as a fuel, and that's what gasoline is, a hydrocarbon, diesel fuel is a hydrocarbon. And what you got to understand is all those fuels have hydrogen in them. So why are we burning a really valuable resource, fossil fuels, and just burning it up in engines to go places, when what we really can do is just take things like water and split it into oxygen and hydrogen and use the hydrogen to run vehicles. So where we're at right now is on Hickam Air Force Base, Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam, at the 647th Logistics Readiness Squadron. They're the motor pool for the Air Force here. And so that's where we kind of have our home base on Hickam to demonstrate our projects. And what I have behind me is a 65 kilogram a day electrolyzer. So if you had this piece of equipment downtown, you could service about 60 or 70 vehicles a day. You can use salt water in an electrolyzer, you can use fresh water in an electrolyzer, you can use brackish water in an electrolyzer. You get other chemicals if you use them in that state. So for example, if you took salt water from the ocean and ran it through a piece of equipment like this, you would get hydrogen and oxygen, but you'd also get chlorine from the salt. If you go with pure water, you know you're only getting hydrogen and oxygen, and we want really, really pure hydrogen. And in its pure form, hydrogen won't burn. It's not flammable till it mixes with air. And then back here we have some storage tanks, and these storage tanks can store almost 400 kilograms of hydrogen. It's one of the largest storage capacities of any station like it in the United States. What we do here at Hickam is using the federal model that we have and the projects that we do, we're taking that knowledge and we're bringing it over to the state side, and we're taking those technologies and we're showing the state the opportunities we have to get into these new technologies and do things with renewable sunlight and wind power and other things that we have on island to make high-tech jobs and help us to improve our economy in the state of Hawaii. So this vehicle is a project from the Department of Energy and the National Park Service and Hawaii Natural Energy Institute up at UH. And we're actually contracted from UH to build these vehicles with our contractor, US Hybrid. You normally don't ever see battery vehicles this big. Like you'll see Leafs and you'll see, you know, plug-in electric vehicles in cars. But when you get to a big vehicle, you can't carry enough batteries to give you anything more than 30 or 40 miles because you just need so much battery power. So the fuel cell is so much more compact, lightweight, and the hydrogen doesn't weigh a whole lot. The tanks, even full, are probably only about 350 pounds each, and they can give the vehicle so much more range. So these two vehicles, this one and the one outside, will go to Volcano National Park, and they'll be part of the National Park Service to shuttle people from the visitor center to Thurston Lava Tube back and forth. But we also have to teach the driver some techniques, because these vehicles also, besides this part, they also have regenerative braking. So when they're going downhill, it makes electricity. So we have to tell the drivers, if you know you're going to go down that long hill to the ocean side where the volcano is going in the water, you got to shut off the fuel cell and drain your batteries down a little bit. Then when you go down the hill, it'll charge your batteries back up, and when you get to the bottom of the hill, you'll have a full tank of hydrogen and a fully charged battery.
I'm Todd Martin. I'm General Manager of US Hybrid in Honolulu. US Hybrid has two roles here on the island. One is hydrogen production, storage, and dispensing. The other is vehicle integration, meaning mainly hybrid powertrains into various vehicles, including things such as this MJ-1 weapons loader for the F-22 fighter aircraft. We take the original equipment manufactured vehicles, quite often remove the internal combustion engines, then we install the hybrid electric powertrain.
I'm Rusty Hughes. I work for US Hybrid as an engineer/manager, and for the past year and a half we've been integrating and upgrading the hydrogen station here at Hickam Air Force Base. I think the general consumer would see a dispenser very similar to this, different shapes and different looks to them, but very similar. They would drive up with their hydrogen vehicle, remove the nozzle, connect it to their vehicle, and then they would interface to the programmable logic controller by pushing a button and reading screen commands. The dispenser also talks to the vehicle and gets information of pressure and temperature and whether the vehicle also from its computer feels like it's ready to receive the hydrogen, and it'll shut down or stop the fueling event if anything's wrong. It's all automated, and really the driver is just pushing a button at different stages of the fueling event, and it takes about 5 minutes to fill a vehicle.
The technology is getting smaller, just like cell phones, getting smaller, lighter, and cheaper. And the more the vehicles get made and used, the cheaper and better the technology gets. So right now, it's still a little bit expensive, but it's getting to the point where pretty soon it's going to be affordable. And the real point is, are you going to wait till we're running out of fossil fuels before you start doing this? You have to start ahead of time and get the technology mature, because at some point, the price of fuel is going to go back up, and the fossil fuels and the desire to stay clean is going to get much stronger, and this is already where you need to go.